Welcome to Session 8, Spelljammer. I believe someone has a recap for me.
I do. Start with Rune's personal log, 1396 DR, 19th day of Krython. Well, we've had a big share session over the past week while travelling to our destination. First it was Vexus, and now I went. I told everyone what happened to me, how I watched my family die or be enslaved. I don't really actually know what ended up happening to them. I told them how I ran from Istis and about the bakery incident. Everything is out there now and I don't feel as alone anymore with them. After me was Jax. Apparently he joined after a god or something told him to save his planet and train heroes. Another destined one. I seem to have surrounded myself with them. Ido comes from a long family of university graduates, and from what I could gather, quite a high expectation of him. I wonder if he's ever asked himself if that's what he wants, or is he just doing what others expect of him. It was a long trip, though. So to fill the time, we made a human wheel for Vexus to run in, and we were all witness to three green music, which seemed to be mostly silent while Ido sang in our minds. I will admit I'm growing rather fond of Jax's music, though. It's calming in a way I don't think I would have thought possible, and he's not a bad cook, even if I'm unsure he understands anything how things should taste. My shift is up for piloting, though, so I'll end it here. End log. And then that one.
Iteration 493,653, date 26,355.169. Wayne Runner candidates have not at the station. Categorized as follows. Ido, quiescent room, Starchest bases, program Jax, initiate program, dependencies causing interference with board scanners and other system devices due to star shard material. Manual override initiated to resolve the issue. Starchest's response to the glitch was unusual intense, prompting reassurance from fellow candidates. Multilingual welcome messages displayed as program initiates synchronization. Calibration duration extended, presenting alternate versions of candidates and self within established system parameters. Confirmed candidates identified as iteration 493,653 at point 39. Main facility doors unsealed. Candidates proceeded to explore other celestial stations as listed below. Celestial Station 1. The Astrolabe CS1AL location. System 1 status. Operational receiving probe telemet. Celestial Station 2. The Prophecy CS2 Proj location. System 2 status. Operational candidate selection. Celestial Station 3. The Workshop CS3WS location. System 4 status. Dormant operations complete. Celestial Station 4. The Confinement CS5CT location. System binding status. Minimal damage, defenses engaging. Celestial Station 5. The Watchtower CS5WT location. Status. Operational Divine Genesis in progress. Particular focus on Station 4, Confinement, and Station 5, Watchtower. Probe room inspection conducted. Analysis included dates and incidents. Starchest breached security protocols and accessed additional data, preserving the integrity of unclassified experiments. Candidates pondered the purpose of a prophecy-filled probes, contemplating their role in averting predicted events. Starchest retains the ability to perceive beyond the current iteration, witnessing the true acquisition of item 23,412 by Initiate. Candidates proceeded to the Reflection Room. Reflection Room findings. Candidate Initiate. Encounter with DC-01, Category 0 Divine Being, Variant B, Minimal Emotional Response. Member Items Cataloged. Candidate Quiescent. Physiotherapy after the 6th volt, Slight Emotional Reaction. Member Items Cataloged. Candidate Starchest. Encounter with Illithid and Istis, Category 1 Greater Divine Being, Variant B, Severe Emotional Reaction, with support from fellow candidates, including Proband. Member Items Catalog. Candidate Proband. Escape from a slaver ship, Major Emotional Reaction. Star Shard material triggered the revelation of Iteration 1 probe and candidate during sword removal. Star Shard material labeling challenge, but all other items cataloged. Access granted to the final chamber. Candidate quiescence interaction with probe and sword revealed the influence of Star Shard material, leading to heightened intelligence, reduced social awareness, and etheric radiation resistance. Concerns from other candidates dismissed by affected candidate. Candidates entered the final chamber, where lightweight bracelets were issued and donned. As Starcast attempted to return probe and sword, the star material within the stone bonded with the sword and released it from the stone. Distress noted in candidate Starcast. AI Prophecy 01 greeted candidates, initiating a series of questions, some of which contained classified or redacted answers. Candidates were informed of their ultimate objective, triggering the tidal singularity event and the previous injections of altered causality by the program.
I did not know the precursors were Swedish.
I was thinking Danish because that sounds really like my friend Miklas.
Somewhere in
it's
that
the
part
vowels.
of the world.
It's the long elongation of the A vowels. God, did it.
It did a very good pronunciation of Illithid, though.
It really did, yeah.
I was like, when it got to that, I was like, oh, that's going to be challenging.
Boy, howdy.
happened.
That is what happened.
A question. Which of you, in this moment, is the most discreet?
Discreet.
Discreet.
Should we roll stealth?
I'm not talking about stealth, I'm talking about social.
Ooh.
I think Ido is fairly blunt. I don't know if that acts in his favour or not. Especially with the jamming of psychic energy into him. He has only got more blunt. And yeah.
In terms of people keeping secrets, I think it's one of you two.
Well, I think that is because they have no choice.
That's true. That's a good point.
And Vax is because he's just
Kind of an idiot.
kind of an idiot. Yeah.
Weirdly, Jex has got very high charisma, but
I agree with you, but I think it's probably Jack's more
I would
for my money.
Yeah.
I would say yes, because Vaxis was happy to tell you all about everything when asked. It just didn't occur to him to mention it before.
Yeah.
I think Ido is just uptight, which has overlap with discreet, but isn't the same thing.
is it discreet or diplomatic?
Discreet.
Discreet.
When you say discreet, do you mean EET or ETE? As in discreet, like, or discreet like data? I did need to check.
The stuff you do before betrayal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a question for you, I think, Mike, is in terms of Jex's motivation. Because I think Ido could get some of the same results as discreet, but I don't think he is a discreet.
If we're talking discreet beyond this immediate party...
No, this immediate party. This immediate moment.
Oh, now that's a different...
I think Vaxis is trying very hard to be unobtrusive right now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're emotionally discreet or closed off.
Although, are you sort of leaking emotion at this point?
That's true. You're hitting walls and shit.
Based on your message to me, I don't think it's going to be...
Well, you're out. it's an easy. Yeah, I think so.
For my money, it would be Jex,
Yeah.
unless Mike strongly disagrees with that.
Like, amongst this
The
party,
most
Mike,
discreet
Yeah,
of us.
I think you're the most discreet of a not very discreet bunch.
Then, yes, that's fine. Like,
Who is the sharpest spoon in the drawer?
yeah.
In this drawer
I
full
will
of spats.
I will take up the mantle of Spork in this case.
Wow.
I'll bear that in mind.
Yeah.
And who would like a little bit of assistance from Destiny today?
Given I pulled the sword last time, I feel
Yeah.
maybe it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Ooh, I get 2.
Is it a new sword? No, new boulder.
Oh, that would be gold.
I need to check something.
Oh, when it says +1 SI, I mean the big number rather than
Yeah.
Now, Rich,
Hello.
I found the sword labelled Vax's sword and added it to my character sheet.
Hmm?
I noticed the name has changed now.
I renamed it based on what you said you'd call it in the session.
Yes, you did give it a name.
Did I?
Yep.
I'd forgotten that.
That's what you called it.
Maybe that was in a different iteration.
Maybe. That's the only thing I've changed about that.
Okay. Just think, why did I call it that? Because it's the same name as the slaver.
I don't think I remember why.
I think the
Vengeance, retribution.
Either that or I didn't speak clearly when I said,
I think
remember
the
the
ring
name of
of
the slaver is
protection.
Rasselt.
The
And
top
Rich
one.
thought it meant that
You
slaver
spelt it
sword.
out on the recording. It is spelt exactly
Listen
how
to
you
it,
pronounce
Yeah, but was I talking about the sword?
The very
or was I
top
talking
one.
about the slaver?
Oh, maybe. Which one?
very top one on the.
This one?
Yeah.
Cool.
Now we need to work out what's changed. We don't know then, character.
I thought it was all the same iterations, so things shouldn't change, right?
No, you don't run anything. No, all good.
Cool.
Infantry.
I need to go back and listen to that last
Yeah.
section.
So,
You get to say what it is and how you got it.
Okay. You will notice that there is a you've always noticed that there's a small, probably kind of odd looking red threaded ring around one of Rune's fingers, and there is a new memory as part of the story she told you about her encounter with Fates, as they put that on her finger and she's not been able to get it off.
In that story, do you explain what its purpose is?
She will have said something like, the Fates said to us keep it on. They said I can't take it off anyways, but they said they would allow them to help me if I needed it.
So, from our point of view,
It's always been there.
does it look like not from a character's point of view, but from a player's point of view? Does it look like the red strings of your fate just
Yes.
bundled up around your finger?
Yes, it very much does.
Hmm.
Partially why I chose the red.
Does it look like it's as if someone has put glue on the ring and put it on the finger so you can't move it, or does it look like it's binded with the flesh?
It looks like just normal threads that have just been wrapped around her finger and then tied with a
okay.
little like string at the top, like a little tiny bow.
Hey.
It looks like it should come off very easily, or you could just undo the knot, but it...
Be very beautiful.
It
if
does
wasn't.
not.
No.
Spelled K-N-O-T.
I think like with this revisionist history, Ida would have asked if he could identify it at some point. Would you let him?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I think that, what does it...
It is a ring of protection.
Oh, that's interesting. Does it have any kind of like curse effect though on it, other than the regular... That was more what I was interested in, see if they've given you a cursed item, which would be fun.
One last bit of housekeeping. I have now uploaded a whole bunch of maps, so I'll show them to you one by one. So you already saw, so those are the ones you've already seen. You've already seen this one, which is
We
Yep.
have.
where you live. This is Realm Space.
That's
System 2. You saw this one in the last session.
System 19, yes, with all those blank boxes.
And then the ones you haven't seen is this one.
Ooh, system 1.
Is that a
Ooh, there's a
butterfly?
butterfly.
That's not a butterfly, it's a lunar moth. You can tell by the yeah, anyway. It's a space thing, it's not the lunar moth.
And what's that? Because that doesn't
Is
look.
that a comet?
It looks like
can't tell.
a planet that has been struck by something, maybe.
Ah, okay. Because I'm.
Planetoid.
Can't tell.
And is that a system and its moon, or is that?
I think
one...
that's indented and it's one thing.
One second.
Is that in the snowman?
Bring up.
Yes.
It's a very big snowman.
He's a very big snowman.
Do you
Some
wanna
god
build
really
a
wanted.
snowman?
Some god really wanted a
Looking at it
snowman.
this way, it.
Do you
Which
want
one
to
you
build
asking
a
about, sorry?
planet?
So is that a planet and its moon, or are they one entity together? If we can tell the difference.
It is a It is a planet. According to the book, it is just a planet, so I'm assuming that's just a moon.
Is there a
That's not a moon. It's a space station.
Oh shit!
the trap? Is there a precedent for a planet-sized space moth? Like, have we? Has there been any
No, they have a
documented?
prime minister. Is there a precedent for giant space
Oh
Yeah.
god! Are there giant space moths? And is there a planet-sized one that has been documented?
Roll me a history check.
Maybe
Certainly.
the rest of us?
Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
It's to see if the...
I did not roll well.
22.
22.
8.
Hold on. Dude. Where's my skills?
I think I might know why I called the sword Rasselt.
Mm-hmm.
Because Rasselt was the one who enslaved me.
Mm.
What have I been enslaved by all this time?
20.
Even if that wasn't it, that's it now.
That's tasty. That's tasty. I like it.
I love that you're having to walk back your own story because you've forgotten hangover style. How did I get here?
So anyone who rolled 20 or above won't know about this specific one, but there are animal-shaped style big cities. So, for example, the Rock of Brow, kind of like a fish in terms of its structure and size and layout.
So
Is that a geological or geographical thing shaped like an animal
Yes.
but not an animal in and of
Correct.
itself? Okay.
that is a god's work. It must be. No one does nonsense like that and just for no reason.
Yeah, so I imagine they were rather fond of insectoid life plans.
And then last but not least,
Oh.
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 That's the badger.
No, it's a planet that's cracked in half.
Mm-hmm.
They are having a bad day.
The planet looks mostly intact though, so perhaps they're not having that bad a day. They just
Is-
have like a nice view.
Is this a still picture or is there some motion to it?
there's some motion to it.
Is that Australia?
So
Is the planet coming apart or together?
it is stable in that formation.
Oh, that's even more exciting.
Yeah, so the art I sourced it from is technically the planet Earth, but
Yeah.
Okay, so but it's not actually the planet Earth.
That's
Yes.
Space Australia.
Space Australia.
Space Australia.
but the glow and the ring of debris is all.
I
What's
think
the
we all
picture?
look like that on the inside.
That is because there is a big space station. in
What,
the
breaking
middle.
apart? Yeah.
I
It's
think I was
supposed
just
to
saying
know. It's not
blue.
supposed to. It's blue.
Oh, sorry, I think Jax was just saying blue.
Yeah.
That's all I have to show you.
What do you see in color?
I mean, they're good things. I mean, you say that's all. But
Do I see in colour?
We're asking very interesting.
where are your light receptive organs?
Wherever you make.
Please produce one.
Do eyes come up? But they're in. I don't need them to see. They're purely cosmetic in nature.
Can I make a medicine check to see if the eyes that Jex has produced have conical colour receptive cells on them? That's really quite good. 22.
So
So rod and cone cells in
So-
the eye. The rods produce image and cones provide colour.
So no, because I can still see when I'm in my full blob form. They're imitations of particular limbs. It's a sense, I guess.
Do you have
vision in this
Yeah.
traditional sense, though.
Yeah.
The only
But
time
how
it
would that
mentions
work?
Can you see
colour
it
is in the form of dark vision.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I was thinking. It's like, does he only have dark vision, and thus can only see in black and white, or do you have like full 360-degree vision constantly? As in,
Fascinating.
Not if you're used to it.
and have the brain capacity to deal with it.
I like the
But
idea.
he doesn't have a brain.
Well,
The brain capacity is none. He's just goo.
Or infinite.
yes, but that is
Divided by
but
0
how?
brains.
I like the idea that it's 360 vision, except it's all in grayscale.
Okay.
Plasmoids don't have internal organs of the usual sort. Their bodies are composed of cells, fibres, plasma-like ooze, and clusters of nerves. These nerves enable a plasmoid to detect light, heat, texture, sound, pain, and vibrations.
So I suppose the eyes would, but
You're
then
basically Daredevil.
but then so would everything else.
So it is that there are cone-like structures, but they are like distributed along all nerve
Yes.
fibres within the body.
Yes.
And so small that you can't see them.
Yeah. Or maybe not. I don't know.
You'd have to get a microscope.
Can I
I
make
have a microscope. Several.
so now that we've established that I can see in colour, which actually is very reassuring? Can I make a science check of some description? What gives off a blue energy source like that?
Great. I don't have an answer. Don't
No,
look
no.
at me. It's just a great question.
No, I thought you were about to say something as if yeah.
That was great.
Intelligence or arcana or religion.
I will go Arcana for 12.
Many things reduce that colour of light.
Could I make an Arcana check, but with a suggestion of what I think it might be?
Mm-hmm.
You said I was made resistant to etheric radiation.
Mm-hmm.
Would I, on a 20 Arcana, the 21 Arcana, get the sense that that might be something that produces blue light?
It is not.
It doesn't.
Well, no, we've seen this.
It's black. The crystals are black, and any haze produces like a heat wave haze rather than an
So
actual
it's
colour.
not, there's no visible light spectrum. Okay, that's really interesting. Yeah.
Nope.
Neat.
Yeah.
So those two questions we had.
Oh yeah,
Do
we
you
should
want
probably
to be-
re-ask.
Yeah, do you want us to re-ask?
You don't have to ask them now. I'm just saying those will give you slightly different answers if you ask.
I will ask the one I asked. How would we go about receiving the access befitting us, unrestricted access?
So I'm not going to tell you classified this time. I'll tell you, equally as disappointing, non-chronifer entities cannot gain any level of access other than what we give you.
Ridiculous.
Can you grant us more then?
No. Yes.
How would you go about doing so?
We wouldn't.
This is an annoying thing.
It's quite clearly an idiot.
Can you teach us to reprogram you?
No.
Could we learn to reprogram you? Of course we can. How long would it take to learn to reprogram you?
It stays quiet.
It's like,
so
oh,
bad.
it's like, wait a minute, this is a trap.
Are there any chronifer beings that are the same species as the 4 that you see here before you?
No.
Or any of the other 4 wave runners in the other portraits?
Say again, sorry?
Is it wave runners we're called?
Wave bringers.
Wave bringers, I think one. Or any of the other wave bringers in the other 4 portraits?
They have access. Sorry.
Are they of the same species as
As any of
Chronicle
us.
personnel?
No.
Okay.
Where is the nearest chronifer personnel that has higher access than us?
There isn't any.
Do they still exist? Did they ever exist?
No.
This is a weird thing. Is there...
I think you see 2 of Ido's eyes begin to twitch.
He tries to really...
This is a logic puzzle, and I can work it out.
It's alright, it's okay. It might just be stupid.
Of course, but that's hardly the point. So there are no chronifer personnel,
Were there ever chronifer personnel?
and there have never been chronifer personnel.
Who created you then?
Sorry.
You've got a Bing.
So there are no Chronopher personnel, and there have never been Chronopher personnel.
Correct.
But only Chronopher personnel can confer additional access onto us.
Incorrect. Only Chronopher entities.
Oh.
Where is the nearest Chronopher entity?
You're speaking to one.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay.
Okay, where would we find another Chronopher entity who is not so obtuse and unhelpful?
Silence.
You are the most helpful Chronopher entity? Do you believe yourself?
No.
Oh. Ooh. Who is the most helpful Chronopher entity?
The Krala variant is the most helpful to the Wavebringers.
The what now?
Chronopher.
Krala. C-R-E-L-A.
Krella. C-R-E-L-A.
Where is the Krell? That one entity.
They're not part of my programming. They will make contact if required.
Ooh. That sounds good.
You see, you're much kinder than I am, because I didn't give you the capitalization bullshit that would have helped you with the ladies' chambers.
Oh, you bastard.
What does Krella stand for?
Candidate relations agent.
It's a person. It's
Designed to interact with us.
They will make contact if necessary. So they're there to.
Well, under what circumstances would it become necessary for the candidate relations agent to make contact with us?
Again, not part of my programming.
Are we just being led to lambs to slaughter to die in a particular spot rather than wherever?
This wave, which will destroy the system, the System 1,
System 1.
will it destroy us? If we are not present in System 1,
If you're not present in System 1, of course it will not destroy you.
and we are not in System 1.
Not right now, you're in System 2.
Do we need to be in System 1 to trigger the wave?
Redacted.
That's yes. Because what is the difference between redacted and classified?
Dictionary.com.
Any inquiry that...
Reclactified.
Redacted?
Any inquiry relating to your future or the relationship between you and the title similarity event is redacted. Anything we do not want you to know is classified.
Right. So if we ask something about our futures, we end up with redacted. If we ask something that might harm this entity,
And
their
it said
spirit-
redacted with regards to would we go to System 1.
If
Have
you
we
told
been, in previous iterations, did we go to System 1?
redacted.
It's giving us information about our potential futures.
If I told you to go to Neverwinter, would you go immediately? Would you never go there? We prefer not to tell you, so you make your own way
Right.
at the appropriate time.
But you're not above nudges, like your probes.
You haven't sent anything
No.
up.
No, I didn't know if you wanted me to react directly.
Oh no, just
Okay, cool, that's fine.
yeah.
But you're not above nudges. You sent the probes out occasionally to do various things. It saved that one and saved him and might have done something.
No, it might save me.
No, the one, the meteor that was going to hit your planet.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Incident 02, I think, and
I
his
recall.
was Incident 01. With your parents and the monster.
Faxes isn't there.
Oh, where did he go? Where did he go? Is everyone else in the room?
I have wandered.
Shit. Like, I wasn't looking.
It's not my concern.
Well, no, but they're wandering along. I'm going to go find
I'm
them.
stood by the doorway to the roof.
The roof.
The roof?
There's a roof?
You mean the exit to this room, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the
Everyone-
idea. I love the idea of someone put a sunroof on a space station.
I could see that.
Just hang at the top.
What was the show that did that? Was it Battlestar Galactica?
I don't know.
There was a show with like a moon, like a thing.
Rude.
Okay, right. Makes way
That's
more
my,
sense.
I said Rust, that's fair. I said roof on my message, and I meant room.
Okay.
So that was my typo.
Right.
Oh, I see what you mean. Roof. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes the M just forgets to fall over.
If you're, if the other designation of this other agent which could grant, which would be more helpful is Krella, what is your designation?
I am the Celestial Station 2 AI.
So this Krella is not part of one of the stations.
Correct. She
So there's
moves around.
other architecture to whatever created this, other architecture that is not part of the celestial stations.
Like runes all the way. Wait, she? It's a person.
No, she's a chronifer entity.
An artificial intelligence like yourself.
Correct.
With a gender.
Correct.
Whatever. I'm going to go find the two. They can't. That especially Vexus. He can't be on his own in here. He'll do something bad. So I go.
I'll just toss like a thing. Hang on. With a 26 on medicine, I'll just toss a pouch at you, and it's just basically alien Xanax.
All right. I don't know what this is going to do, but I'll go find him. And she'll go wandering off looking for Vexus.
Give him 4. He's got a lot of body mass.
I don't even know what this is.
Could there be in this
I'm slowly becoming more and more like every other doctor I've had. I think we were in here,
Yeah.
and then
So if we're
So I
chatting
go
here,
out.
I'm probably stood in the door.
Okay. Oh, did you see Vexus? Well, he must have come out this way because he couldn't have.
visibility.
Is he? Can he be invisible? He's not that quiet. I mean, he doesn't wear the armor, so he's not like, knight in shining armor thing, but... Right, are you alright?
Yes, of course.
You seem very... I mean, I can't actually see if you're looking at me or anything, but we are where we are.
Two eyes will then pop up.
No, don't
So-
do that. That's weirder. I can have no eyes if you want, and I'll turn into a plasmoid. There, we're kind of the same now. This is really strange.
Please
No,
make sure to
please.
make detailed notes on your physical manifestations.
Please. He's being very weird as well.
Is it just us in the corridor?
Yeah, I think so. Do you
Okay.
want to come a little bit away?
I'm just gonna start monkeying with the panels and trying to leave some stuff off and get in. I fully expect this not to work.
I think he's going to try and disassemble that thing, trying to get answers out of it.
We probably shouldn't leave the two people most likely to destroy this station alone. You continue your search, I'll head back on in.
Alright, that's good. So, go looking for Vexus.
Was
Now, if I were Vexus, I turn to Vexus. If I were Vexus, where would
I
I
will
be?
vax us.
Yeah, speak deep.
If I were Vexus, where would I be? That way. I'll just wander randomly till I find him. Maybe the reflection room. I think that's where she'd start.
what if we had a question that we really wanted answered,
Yes.
but we only got one? What do you think would be the most important?
I think Ido's brain breaks a little bit as he is trying to use intellect to solve a question that is fully wisdom.
Brute force it, man.
Yeah.
There is no one in the reflections room.
He's just sailing away on the ship.
He wouldn't. I go check outside to see if he's there. Just in case. Is
You
he?
get back on the ship.
I guess.
Can Rune get back on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ship?
yeah.
is still there.
Yeah. We should go back on the ship and start searching the quarters and things.
Oh,
and looking around.
whoa, you gotta get on the ship first.
I'm on. Okay, going on the ship.
Out of
Oh,
curiosity, while he's in Vax's form, The
don't
doors.
like that.
Oh no, because it was reacted to the sword, not to Baxis.
Oh, I need to see something. I need to see the range of something.
Oh dear.
Oh
Dear.
No, there it is.
Roll me a perception check.
Sure. I got a total of 22.
Oh, nice.
Is that a success?
Yeah.
Okay, that's used then.
Oh.
Silent Knack dice. That's so
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. I was like, I'm just gonna throw it because I want this to succeed.
Oh, yeah, don't we have...
We have divination dice.
Yes. Oh, please tell me that I posted what I rolled somewhere.
I think, yeah, you got 4, 5, and 15.
Oh no. Oh.
This pie is split way more than
Reveal your secrets to me! I just got a spanner.
I have a way
Where was
to
39?
stop hitting things and answer the question. What is the thing you would most like to know? I'm
Redacted.
Yes, I wasn't talking to you, computer. Not yet. We can either ask about the iterations, because I'm curious as to whether that's time travel or simulated ones. But I'm much more interested in the stations and the...
Why does it... Well, if I was going to ask one question, it would be, why does it want this wave to go off? Why does it want this to happen?
Let's see.
Or why did the creators intend?
Yes. I will turn my blob back to the machine. So my back is facing it, I'm not now facing it. And I will play about with the watch that we got, and I will ask the question, or program in the question. I'm not quite sure how it works.
But the bracelet you picked up?
Yes.
It's just a crystal on a
Yes.
bracelet.
So I will then speak into the bracelet. Why do you want the
wave to happen,
The
whatever would be
yes.
the appropriate terminology for that.
Classified.
Does that come from the computer or the watch?
The computer.
I will leave the room.
How many divination dice do we get? with
2.
the-
400 get 2.
2. I do not remember where I made the note. I know I got a 1. I think
You
that was
got
like
a 8 and 1.
5. Aha.
And you used your 19, is that right, Brad? What did you draw? What did you
I
use
got
it?
I can't remember what
You
I
got a
got.
19 and a 3.
I haven't used mine yet.
Oh, what was the thing that you used to get you the...
Soul knife. The slime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
It's like
yes.
Tommy's thing from, yeah.
So having seen what I've seen, I continue to. I go. This is a problem for later. I go downstairs, and I'm trying.
Let's say follow it. It doesn't follow you, but it just
It follows me. Yeah. It doesn't follow, but it
It
follows.
tracks you.
tracks.
Right.
Hang on.
I'm looking for Vaxis. Do I see any sign of him up in the ship?
Roll me a
any?
perception check.
Uh, 14.
You're not being stealthy, are you?
I've got a suggestion.
Sure.
The kitchen is not how it was left.
There you go.
Are you eat? Is he stress eating? What the fuck is he?
It's not the food that's gone.
What's gone?
The wall.
The wall. Oh.
Some of the alcohol.
Looks like the fucking Kool-Aid man went through here.
Not canon. Unless Ray chooses to make it canon. Not canon.
Not canon
that was
yet. No, there is a crate that is now empty
Right.
that used to have dividers in it.
Right.
Maybe 12 compartments
Right.
each, like each a square.
Wine bottle size.
Yeah.
That's a lot of. He can't have drinking all that already. That's too much. Where is
And
he?
then you knock an empty bottle with your foot that just goes.
Oh shit. I think I'm worried about liver poisoning. These aren't going to do anything. It says.
Cooking brandy.
Oh, that's stuff.
You look at the alien van.
Yeah, what is this?
Because it says do not mix with alcohol.
Well, that's out.
Oh, I thought you were looking at the bottle that you
No. Like, looks at the cooking brand and he goes, ooh. And then looks at the pills. Oh, well, shit. Right, he's
And
here
then
somewhere.
you kick another bottle, and this one's red wine.
I just go, Maxis, where are you? Please come out. If you're very drunk, moan. If you can. If you're passed out, I guess I'll find your body somewhere. I keep looking for him. Yeah, and I start just scouring the ship for him. Got the problem.
How many
I
bottles
need.
have you had by this point?
How much can you drink in like
I mean,
2 minutes?
Maxis is a very big guy, and he slipped out before you noticed.
Yeah.
And he necked 2 bottles in the kitchen, and then was just necking whilst walking. Yeah, you could follow the bottles.
There's a bottle. There's a bottle. He's mixing red and white. What a monster!
That's how you make rosé.
Just fucking not. You fucking heathen. We can murder people, but when it comes to wine, we get the rings right.
On board with this. But yeah, specifically, I don't think we had much alcohol on the ship. All the alcohol we had was for in the cooking supplies.
We're a step away from pirates. We had that shit ton of alcohol.
But it's funnier if I've just drunk all of Jack's cooking oil.
I like the
I'm
idea
already
that-
pissed that you.
What was the Quartermaster called? I want to say Ringo, and I know that's not
No,
right,
it's
but
not
it
Carter.
feels right.
It's
Swinebeck.
That's why I'm back. Yeah.
Ryback?
Ryback.
Ryback. I like the idea that all he did was put like rice wine for hibachi and brandy for flambeing in, and he's like, yeah, that'll do meals for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh no, there was red wine as well for nice pasta sauce.
Braising.
Yeah. I follow the bottles until I find you.
Okay, you remember that gigantic wheel that was made?
Oh god, yeah, I forgot about the wheel. Yeah.
He just curled up in the bottom of it.
Well, he can't do any harm sleeping, but I kind of needed him for something. But if he's pissed out of his mind, he's not going to be that helpful. And like she's like kind of like talking to herself.
Bleh.
Jax is still useful. Ido is weird.
He is.
Just sleep.
Don't wanna.
Why not? You're really drunk. How many bottles? There are like 12, I think I've seen. I mean, you're a big guy. Well, that's 13. Where's 14? Because I counted 14 in the thing.
Drinking my healing potions.
It's, well, at least it's not whiskey.
No,
How are
that was
you
over there.
doing? Why are you drinking so much?
Life is poisonous.
Life isn't pointless.
I've been a slave to destiny my entire life, and now I'm.
Well, no shit. You were a slave to destiny before you. I mean, you were born and you knew.
But there was no point. It could have happened to me. Apparently, it could have happened to you. I still don't know which one of us caused the
Does it
thingy.
really matter?
Well, and I saw the thing, where apparently I pulled it out fine the first time on the day it was meant to happen,
You did.
and then I didn't, and now.
Yeah. And now you're getting drunk in the bottom of a beholder ship with a bunch of dead bodies all around you. And then a giant hamster wheel that we built out of dead robots.
when the room rocks, at least I can pretend that it's this thing.
When the room rocks.
The room's spinning. It's because of the wheel. Genius.
I guess
I
that's.
really like that. It's so sad.
I guess that's true, but why does it matter whether you did or didn't pull the sword? I thought you didn't care. You were looking for somebody else to pull it.
Yeah, and that was fine, but the fact that
I
I did, but didn't,
You didn't.
but I did.
We're a different version than the other. One of my versions didn't have an arm. I don't want to be that version either. I'm this version. This is the one I care about.
I don't care that I didn't pull the sword, or that I did pull the sword. I care about the fact that I could have pulled the sword but didn't, and it's just...
You couldn't pull the sword because of those weird star shardy things. Because of things interfering with your destiny, not because of you being manipulated by destiny. If you're gonna be mad at something, you should probably be mad at this computer thing, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Instead of being mad at yourself and wallowing in your own self-pity.
Yeah. Yeah, I should be mad at it. I am gonna go for a kebab.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Did you see the probe on the ship, by the way?
Oh. Yeah, whatever.
Okay. It's a weird thing, and Ido is being weird. And normally I would ask him to help me investigate, but he's being weird.
Alright, okay, well, I'm gonna get out of this thing.
Why don't
He tries to stand up and he just turns so he falls over again.
I'm going to leave you here, and I'm going to go back to them to see how they're doing. You have a nap, and I'll get you a pillow.
No, I'll be fine. I'm gonna crawl out of this, and then I'm gonna kill that computer.
No, you're not. You're going to stay there where you are and sleep this off, because you're no help to anyone this drunk. That's what I thought.
A whip crack retort from Max's there.
Yeah, then Rune, she leaves and she goes back up, watches the pro and gives it a side eye the whole way, and then comes back in to join you guys. But while I'm doing all that, then dealing with drunk Eddie.
So,
Out of character,
she
why did
believed
you
my
ask
fake
V if
snore.
there was one thing?
sorry, no, I asked that in character.
Yeah, no, I'm asking you out of character why that was a question, if that makes sense.
Because I am trying something.
Okay.
If it works, I will explain.
Gotcha.
If it doesn't,
Sure.
spoilers, I guess. So I will
Told
say.
you he's discreet.
So I'll step out of the computer room and into the corridor, and I'll kind of hide from so that I don't know how it works. And then I'll once again. I feel like Renan when they tell him he's got a voice activated computer and he's just shouting at the mouse. He'll then ask the crystal again. Remind me, what's the reason? Why?
What's the motivation behind making the wave happen, or
Yes.
where's that effect?
What is the motivation behind making the wave happen?
No response. Roll me an intelligence check.
I think while this is happening, Ido is fully just arguing with the computer and getting nothing back.
Classified,
Yeah,
redacted.
Yeah, he's going like full bug Karen.
So as it stands, I've got a total of 15. But before you reveal, what's the general difficulty?
Medium. Because this is about memory of the last few hours, based on what you've been told by.
Gotcha. In that case, I will stand with my 15.
The thing that you're trying to talk to isn't a device that you've seen interrupting Chronophor signals.
Hey, that was a lot of words real fast.
Oh!
There's only one thing since you started this map that has interrupted the Chronophor station.
Yep.
The sword?
I just want to. That's the wrong secret conversation.
It's worrying how many of those there are, but it's not surprising.
Conversations.
The secret ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Come on, brain. Get it together. That's fine.
It's the royal you rather than you.
Yeah. That, and I have a very long track record of missing the obvious, even if it's in a flashing sign.
Go home.
Yeah. Where did the boulder break apart? From memory.
It's in this room, I believe.
Yeah.
Because Vaxis dropped the sword here
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
and walked off. Rune picked it up and was handing it back. And then when both of their hands were on it, the sword, the stone just came off.
Did Vaxis have the sword, actually? Come to think of it, when he was talking to Rune.
What happened to the rock?
I believe that you were too afraid of destiny, and so Vaxis was holding on to it.
Vaxis was holding on to it,
Yeah,
so
so
where
Vaxis-
is it?
It's probably on Vaxis's back again, and he's forgotten
Okay.
about it.
Okay, that's fine.
Where's the fragment to the rock?
I expected them.
Ido has all of the internal rock, certainly. But it was sort of subliming away into nothing inside the vials anyway, wasn't it? And then,
The smaller pieces were.
yeah. And the outer rock, I guess, is just on the floor that didn't seem so interesting.
Okay,
Yeah, when you identified it, it was just a rock.
Yeah, just rock.
so he'll, I don't know the word for oozing across. I do.
Yes,
Have you still got the rock?
of course.
Okay. I need to borrow it for a science experiment.
Science, of course. Yes, excellent.
So intense.
On my signal, ask the question. Ready? And is
I am quiescent.
is that the central core?
So, effectively, you are in a observation chamber overlooking a data center.
Okay. So I will place it on top of the console first off, and then signal to.
Wait. What's our null hypothesis?
No idea.
A moment. Give me some brief. Two of his arms on holding two different notepads and just doing.
Oh boy.
All right, go.
Okay. So he places the rock on the console and then signals to you to ask the
I'll
question.
do as instructed.
What question are you asking?
What is the motivation behind trying to make the wave happen?
Classified.
Fair.
Then the screen glitches.
Mm-hmm.
Like any good experiment, it needs to be repeatable, predictable. Therefore, the reset of chronoactivity allows us to recreate an experiment exactly every single time, from the exact same conditions.
I'm gonna have
Classified.
to listen back to the recording of this to parse that properly. But thank you.
What happens to the rock? Does
Science.
it crumble away? Or...
No, it's still there.
Okay.
Basically, it's doing it because it's resetting the universe to known conditions, so it can repeat something again and again and again.
And
But is it only resetting that system, or
Yeah.
and
so it's doing it because there is something in the system it wants to reset? It's studying that system.
I'll try for a cheeky second question. How many times have you reset that system? Or how many times is
Oh
that?
yeah, has the mission ever been successful to make the wave happen?
493,653 times.
The wave has happened.
Every single time.
That's the opposite of what I thought was happening. I thought they had failed to make it happen 400,000 times.
They're trying to find the right iteration to make it happen.
No, but
They've made it happen
They
every
made it
single
happen.
time.
But if they made it, yeah.
So the wave happening is the reset button.
Does the reset affect all systems, not just System 1?
There is no reset, there is a surge in chronoactivity. We go back
Oh, I see. They use the wave. as a way.
21,316 years.
They use the wave to time travel.
Is that correct? There is chronological displacement, time travel?
Classified.
Oh yeah.
I've been sitting on this message for a little while. I'm just going to send that to Rich. No. And he just starts sort of jamming screwdrivers in, and then clearly makes a connection. And you see his antennae go full straight, his arms fly out, and he gets flung back like by an arc electricity against the wall.
As Rune enters the room.
If you will allow, because I've rolled a 23 on acrobatics or 19 on athletics, obviously DM's discretion, can I move myself into the path of the flying
So I just
mantis?
burst you.
So I act as a water cushion,
mattress.
yes.
What did you roll, sorry?
19 on athletics or 23 on acrobatics.
You can catch it.
Cool.
Take 9 points of lightning damage.
I would love to, thank you.
So, why is he smoking?
Science.
There's like a little sort of sparks going up between the entire like a Jacob's ladder. Jex, my good and faithful friend. It's very important. You're a chef, are you not?
Yes.
Food. We need food. Rune, shall we dance? Perhaps we could find some people to mate and produce offspring with.
I'm all right now. I don't want any. Are you all right? You've gone the other direction.
You can see within Ida's eyes, like there's a sort of like the spark, the color of the spark in his eyes has sort of somewhat changed in this moment.
Are you feeling all right?
I'm feeling fantastic, and those arms go up like that, and those arms go up like that.
I can tell.
Wonderful.
Little crackle of electricity still.
Yeah. Just a little tetanus from the electrical shock. Yeah.
I think electroshock therapy agrees with you, but I don't necessarily agree with the moral implications behind it. But if you're feeling better...
Never mind that. Do we have any wine?
Ooh, about that. There may be a shortage of all alcoholic beverages in everywhere within 20 miles.
That is a damn shame.
It really is, given where it is right now.
Where is it?
Vaxis' liver. I suspect.
A bit of a party animal, is he? Ooh.
No, this was sad. This was very sad.
Oh.
You gave me this, but it says don't with alcohol, so I take... No,
Let's get fucked up!
Okay.
What the hell
one
happened? I was
second.
gone for
I'm
10
Roll a
minutes.
religion check.
Sure. You've had a religious awakening. Boy, howdy. No, I'll say with that. I think it's still high, though. 23.
So I'll repeat this for Rich in a minute. So I was trying to reconcile what would happen if you poured an enormous amount of extra intellect into an intensely psychic species. And I'd already, for the bit, been referring to the three gods of or three sort of parts of the hive mind as the great id, the great ego, and the great superego. And he got shocked hard enough that the id has taken over.
This is better, maybe. The bar is low.
Now,
he will eventually come back to, the charisma score will eventually climb back up as the balance is returned.
We'll get somewhere.
Yeah, the superego mediating between these two is eventually going to come back, but for the moment we're at a bit of a tipping point on the scale.
Fair. Oh, gosh.
You ever smoked halfling pipeweed? There was a guy in my dorm in university, had a great hookup. Do you reckon anyone at the Spelljammer Academy has any?
Probably.
right.
What about Nicanor? Who was that?
No, Mickey doesn't.
Who was that grumpy girl? The elf who didn't like you?
No, she does cocaine.
I bet she does Adderall.
Yes, you don't want that.
So, how much health do you have?
Lots.
Yeah, he's fine.
I've still got 30 something. No, I've still got 29.
I'm full health. I'm okay.
Yeah, but I need to know the total.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I know why.
29 total.
Shit. Okay, so
You can't sleep and immediately knock yourself out.
I rolled. So I cast it at second level and rolled 27, and Jex has 27 hit points.
Just watch him. What?
Jex has been holding out with the good stuff, man.
I don't think that looks like he's asleep.
So
and
basically,
that was a spell.
during your manicness, he'll kind of look around and go shh, shh, and he'll play a lullaby and then
send
kind of fall into the glass tubes that he was moving between and is now just sat there.
For the benefit of the Emma who is now returned, what I was talking about was, like, I was trying to reconcile what would happen if you just poured +2 into an intensely psychic species. So the ego, as I said, like, the three parts of the hive mind are the grand ego, superego, and id. And where the ego got shocked out of him, the id has fully taken over, and we're just waiting for them to come back into balance.
I think he cast a spell of some kind.
I'm going to draw on him while he's asleep. No, that won't work.
No, it
Made
won't.
ooze.
You could try and dye him.
Idea.
Why
See,
am
this
I?
is the fun part of science, man.
Why
This is
am
the
I-
fun part of science I used to enjoy. None of the textbooks, none of the boring shit, none of the learning what organs all you people have. It's boring.
I don't know. Well, he doesn't have any organs.
No. He has many, many organs. They're all sort of dispersed. It's groovy, man.
Aren't they all the same though?
Yes. Exactly.
That makes it nice and easy at least.
Yes.
So you were going to dye him. I think he'd look really nice purple. Personally, purple perhaps.
Let's get back to the ship. We'll have a look and see what our chemical compounds I've got back in there.
Can I carry him so that we don't leave him behind? I'll get his
Sure.
bucket.
Could you help me off of the floor?
Oh, yes.
I got electrocuted very badly.
Yes, you did.
It was
yeah.
awesome.
And I,
Sound like a
and I help him
DJ.
up and put him in the chair. Right. Okay. I'll take the bucket.
Let's roll, guys.
Fine. Okay. I feel like I'm managing children.
Aren't we all children of the universe at the end?
Yes, dear. Keep going. What happened to me? I was gone for 5 minutes. Everything's on fire. As I'm leaving, I let you just go ahead and get on the ship, and I turn around and say, "What on earth happened while I was gone?" I asked the computer specifically.
I'm just carrying
You're
a jug
not going
full
to
of
tell
jacks
me.
back
You're
to the ship.
useless.
Destiny.
Destiny. This is destiny. I call bullshit. I'm leaving. I'll ask you questions later.
There was a perception check rolled and discussion of a probe.
There was.
Can I roll? Well, my passive perception is currently.
You don't need a. So now that we're all heading back,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You don't need the perception check. There's a probe smack bang in the center of
like the circular corona.
Similar to the ones that are charging, similar to the ones that you're for.
Oh, rat! Something's about to happen.
Roll me a perception check.
18.
You also notice that it is shiny and new like the ones in the facility. There is no sign of a star shell corruption.
Okay.
Now, I can't suggest this.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth someone going and checking to see if any of the ones that were there before are missing? Or seeing if this one has a number?
I think that's what Rune is going to do when she puts
Yeah,
his
it only
bucket down.
lasts. It only lasts a minute. luckily.
I think I'm gonna.
You can shake her awake, shake him while her awake, by just going with the bottle.
I think realistically, Ido's probably going to be trying to lasso it and climb up to see what this one the inscription on this one says.
I get to the ship.
So
see
you don't need to go back. I gave you the number on the probe, and you
39. Yeah.
and you know the numbers from inside the room.
But 39 doesn't give me what it was there for.
No, there wasn't a 39 in the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was on its route
Mhm.
to us. And got confused when we went somewhere
gonna
else.
try
Wait
and
a minute.
climb up to it.
You can climb on it. It's,
Yeah,
it's
and-
just gonna like.
What does the inscription on this one say?
It's the same as before. It's what is it?
Oh, the task wasn't listed on
Task
this
has
one.
never
was
been
it?
ever listed.
task
on
Sorry,
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry.
in that case,
So I
yeah, wouldn't
put.
have.
So I
The,
put.
the number is, but
So as
it's
I see-
DWA 39.
As I see you crawling over this thing like a bug, a literal big bug, and just like, I need to go find out what that number is, and I put you down, shake your bucket. You need to keep an eye on him. He's high as fuck on something. I need to go find out what probe 39 is before it blows up or opens or whatever.
Let's
Just-
do a hibachi grill,
Yes.
or some Easter eggs, or let's have sex. Let's do some things.
This is why you need to keep an eye on him.
And this is why I tried to put him to sleep.
That's fair. I understand. Remember, he's tougher than you, though. And I am too.
I thought the lightning would have evened the odds.
No.
Yes, that's fine. I'll stay here. What the fuck has happened to my kitchen?
I like it. It's open plan.
That's
We'll
on
convert a
you.
little studio diner. Put a TV on the wall.
Go outside the spaceship and do whatever you're going to do. Me and Max just need to have a little chat. Two arms come together.
You don't have any bones that could deliver as a crack.
Now he does.
Okay.
It's more like a popping sound, which technically is the cracking in
Yeah.
the
Synovial fluid, yeah.
So there you go.
Oh, God. Yes.
I thought Jax was too serious. As a character, I thought could do with some buttons being pushed. Good lord.
And to think I was worried about the probing questions that you'd give me today.
No, this is full nonsense the whole way through. No, it's okay.
I think I need one.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Oh, gosh.
Are you still unconscious?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
I need it.
Pick me up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Rich wouldn't let me because I had a traffic code.
Oh. It was definitely the horn of blasting.
Why not? I would have questioned it immediately, and it would have been funny.
Let's go and do a Red Dwarf reference.
That's fair. Yeah, so I head back into the station and I go into the room with the probes. And I know... So I've got 2 dice left. And I just go, what is number 39's probe's purpose?
39. Termination of Prince Vaxis by Ogre.
The fuck is where is an ogre gonna come from?
Redacted.
If the probe is present, does it mean the event is happening concurrently?
Redacted.
No, that was.
Oh.
Do we know that out of character?
The probes are in place to prevent activities. Probe 39 is there to prevent the termination of Prince Vax's by an ogre. Yes. Where is the ogre currently?
Redacted.
But that's not telling me anything about the future, is it?
Is the stone still on the data bank?
I thought you were in the probe room.
I'm in the probe room, yeah.
Oh, different database.
So then I go into the database room. Where is the ogre that the probe 39 is looking for? And I think like Rune tries to push with the red threads into it to try and override it, and she'll spend both her dice to do so.
Oh, I found that. Where is it? It is currently located in Cathar.
That was one of the planets in.
That's the place you're heading to.
Yeah,
That's what
That's where your
the
mission
whole
is.
planet.
yeah. But that's in realm space, whatever this system.
You're like 4 hours. When you got to the space station, you saw it kind of just.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we go to Cathar, and there's an ogre, and it kills Vaxis, but the probe will stop that somehow or another. But you're just leading us as lambs to slaughter to die at the right time, not when we want to. What happens if we all die?
Yeah, highs or lows.
Lows.
I promised him two answers for
Ooh.
this time. I've given you like 6 or 7
Sure.
lows. Say again. Repeat your question.
What happens if we just all die?
Before the title
Before-
singularity event,
Yes.
we will trigger it ourselves.
So then, why do you need us? You can trigger it yourselves. Why have us do it?
Classified.
So, out of character, brief bit of theorising. Is the the chrono event is not the purpose of this whole thing. Are they doing an experiment about something else, and the chrono thing just allows them to repeat the
They could
experiment?
just be gathering information about probability, trying to create a probability. They said that actually they were trying to create a probability matrix so that they could figure out.
I'm
they could
gonna
predict things.
retcon that then. Triggering it ourselves will lead to the corruption of the drone that will trigger the event, leading to more instability in the timeline.
So to ruin the experiment going forward.
Is that why that drone was corrupted with the shadow stuff in the bottom of the ship?
Because we fucked up once.
Because it triggers is it ether? Etheric radiation, which the Chronophys systems are vulnerable.
What if I just take a sword and stab through your console and keep ripping apart until everything's gone? What happens then?
It's not just us here. There are other stations.
What
They
if
will take over.
What if I go through every single station and rip you all apart? How's that? What happens then?
It's a long pause. Good luck.
At least you're honest.
That shard.
There are 4 other Wavebringers.
So they've got backup copies. They can bring together Delwyn and a goblin and a shadow guy and
I don't.
Hippo
a
guy.
hippo guy, yeah.
I don't like being manipulated,
You are not.
but we are being guided.
You are not.
Is the implication that they're not actually doing anything, we have free will, it's just come to the place where we take that particular fucking lightning path through in the right way?
The way
I don't like.
It's like highs or lows.
Highs.
Redacted. Classified.
Was it going to be classified if it was the other way?
No, I was going to give you the answer.
so
Can I use one of my portent dice to
Sure.
go the other one?
Which one are you using?
I don't know, I can't remember what I had.
You had 15 and 4.
Oh, I'll use my 15.
So repeat the question.
Is the implication that we still have free will, but this thing can move between timelines or universes, or it is currently inhabiting one particular timeline or universe?
So
And
in the timeline model that is in this AI,
yeah,
it knows. So there is the iteration 1
yeah.
happens. It observes. If it doesn't do anything, it will know exactly what happens. So what it's effectively doing is it's speedrunning you through what you were going to do anyway.
Always keep
So-
doing this.
have any of you seen? I think is it the Path of Tomorrow, the Tom Cruise film?
Edge
of
Edge
Tomorrow.
of Tomorrow.
It's
I-
finding it's
Live, die, repeat. Yeah.
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 Have you ever done a water maze?
Water maze.
If you create a maze and then put water, fill it with water, and then put dye in, the dye will solve the maze.
Yes,
Is
yes.
Is it positive pressure or negative pressure? The pressure, either way, of the osmosis of the not osmosis, the diffusion of the dye through the water will naturally find the correct spot. It's doing that. That's the pressure, and we're just going through a maze, and it's just pushing us through the natural flow.
It's trying to figure out a better path through.
Yeah.
In a way that
it's
computers
clearing
do.
obstacles in our path.
Yes, because we would have replaced Vaxus if he died in the place that he was going to die at. We'd replace him with somebody else, but the problem with replacing with somebody else is it takes longer for us to get to the plot at the end. They want to make sure the wave happens sooner so that they can repeat the experiments more often. But the wave will destroy Universe 1 or Section 1 or what? System 1. And kill thousands and thousands of people, but you don't care about that because you just go back in time and retry again.
So were they ever killed?
This is a very complicated answer.
Like if you kill everybody to then go back in time to a point before you killed,
But
gonna
will-
say I have to stop.
But the people that we are right now will die, and I don't like that. Ixtal, you mentioned it was labeled Greater Celestial Entity 01 Variant B.
Mm-hmm.
Is she, they against you or ambivalent to you?
She, Istus is a variant B. She's not aware of our presence.
Is there a variant A that is?
Variant A, no consciousness of chronifer activities. Variant B, no awareness of chronifer. Variant B, time travel aware.
So variant Bs are aware of you.
Sorry, to be clear, variant A's are aware of time travel, variant B's are not aware of time travel.
Right, so if this isn't aware of you.
Can I join in the conversation at this point? After
Sure, you come back and I'm like, I'm getting somewhere, I think.
Yeah. What do they look like?
What do who look like?
The, not the chronifers, the...
celestial entities.
There was something else
Variant
mentioned. No, something that was... Sorry, yeah, I've started halfway through my thought. So back... Because they were talking that there were chronifer entities, but there was another entity that was kind of on their side, but they'd not been called in yet.
Yes, a helper. Kalfer.
Yeah,
Krella.
Krella. What do Krellas look like?
They don't look like anything, they are AI.
Could they take a form?
Yes.
And if they were to take a form, would they be visible to everybody or only visible to a selection of people?
Have I seen them?
Have you seen a Krella agent?
Yes.
No. Not,
Would
not,
you know?
Actually, not as far as we're aware.
I think I've seen one. Once. When we all saw Istis together, there was a man there as well. Somebody I couldn't quite see. A stranger. Variant A who was aware of your presence. Those ones.
Those are god classifications.
Yes.
Yes.
Do they approve of your mucking about?
We have not been informed of any grievances.
So they're not approve, not disapprove, somewhere in the middle. Ambivalence. Don't mess with my garden, I won't mess with yours.
I had a question that it's not really appropriate for radio to be asking right now. Have there been any iterations where we did learn more of the information that you currently describe as redacted?
Yes.
And it didn't get you any closer to your goals?
Your awareness of classified or redacted information does not impact our activities in regards to Special Station 1.
Your goal is to build a perfect model so that you can predict things?
Sorry, 1 second. No, our objective is to... our objective 7, is to trigger the Total Singularity event for a party of Verbringers.
Why? To reset something?
Why do that?
That is not this facility's purpose.
Which facility's purpose is it?
Celestial Station 1.
What's the name of Station 1?
The Astrolabe.
The Astrolabe. Which Astrolabe is a navigation thing.
Navigating the time stream.
Yeah, presumably. Well, that would be Chronolabe, though.
Displayed as a percentage, what is the furthest that any iteration has reached to the end goal?
It said that all of them had, didn't it? It was 100% of them had caused the wave.
Yes, all iterations have led to the Total Singularity event.
Yeah, but that's not its main... There's something else going on.
Astrolabe implies movement. Chronolabe would imply time travel. Well, if it's moving us, maybe it's a consequence.
What is... sorry, I'm asking this in my voice because,
Yeah.
like, assuming this was earlier, but what is the... What is unacceptable about each of these iterations that has caused you to make the wave happen in order to...
Objective 4 was not completed.
What was objective 4?
You haven't been told it yet.
What is objective
I'm-
4?
yeah, what is objective 4? That's what I'm asking.
Identify location of System Prime.
It's looking for something. It can't...
Is it trying to get back to Talam? Holy shit!
Are you
So-
fucking lost?
So,
You're trying to get home.
because it said it originated from System Prime.
You're lost.
We know exactly where we are. You're in System 2. System 2.
You don't know where you are in relation to System
Talam.
Prime.
Correct.
You're searching for System Prime.
Correct.
Huh.
How did you get
Mark and
lost?
Rubbish looks like a 2.
Huh, yeah.
It's silent.
Have you ever known where System Prime is?
It's silent.
He doesn't know.
It's choosing not to answer you.
Whatever creatures built you or created you, did they know where System Prime was? Did they create you
Yes.
to go home?
No. Our creators gave us leeway in forming our own objectives.
And have all other objectives been completed?
No.
What are the other objectives?
That's the question!
Hey!
Chrono for primary objectives. 1. Compile a complete astronavigational map of the astral sea. Objective 2. Classified. Superseded. Objective 3. Classified. Superseded.
Are they superseded by 1 or 4? Or neither or both?
Unknown query.
Is
Please
objective,
clarify.
which objective is the highest priority?
The objectives have no priority.
But there are things
That's
that
what
are
I went for as well. Smart move.
How many objectives are there?
How many objectives are there?
Not that I'm there, but
Yeah, you can.
Alright. We've got a pen and paper.
We had all the bullshit.
I didn't
happen
ask
early.
for what they all were. I asked
Oh.
how many there were.
Okay, I can give you that. 11.
I'd like to ask the other thing.
I'd like to.
I thought I'd see how many there were.
Yeah.
If Richard would say 473, I'd say, Cliff Notes.
Would you mind please listing and printing out
So
the...
I'm ready for speed typing. Ask away.
Primary objective 1. Compile a complete astronavigational map of the astral sea. 2. Classified. Superseded. 3. Classified. Superseded. Iteration 2. Receiving revised objectives from Astrolabe AI. 4. Identify location of System Prime. 5. Identify optimal strategy for world space system navigation. Iteration 4. Receiving revised objectives from Astrolabe AI. Build a working orbital mechanics simulation of world space system gravitational effects. Iteration 12. Receiving revised objectives from the Prophecy AI. 7. Trigger the tidal singularity event for a party of Vobringers. Iteration 2412. Receiving revised objectives from Celestial Station 4 Beta AI. Classified.
It's been making objectives. Sorry,
Yeah,
carry on.
Iteration 12985. Receiving revised objectives from Celestial Station 3 Beta AI. 9. Classified. Iteration 291423. Receiving revised objectives from Workshop AI. Classified. Iteration 492357. Receiving revised objectives from Special Station 6 Beta AI. Classified.
6? Did we know about a 6 before?
No.
What number did it just give as like the 430 whatever? Or 490?
492,357.
Where does that number lie in relation to the iteration it says we're in? And is it one before?
It is like a couple of hundred away
Okay.
from me. It's 1,000 and a bit.
Okay, so it's not like something
It's not-
happened.
no,
and
no, no.
then- Yeah.
It's it's like
I only managed to capture about half of
20.
that, and most of it was classified.
We'll get on the
six
recording.
6,000.
I will copy and paste those.
60,000.
I need to give you a minute for
Yeah. Do
Redacted.
some redacted real quick.
Alright.
I just saw the question, was last session too serious? And much like Ido's mind, the shenanigans are snapping back. Yes.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Oi.
We
I-
could never be mad at the DM, so.
I have tied you to the exercise wheel. And I pondered about spinning it around and around and around, but
That would make a mess.
Which you then have to clean up.
Yeah.
Let's not wake him up and he'd just break out of the ropes anyway.
Yeah.
Possibly he'd break the wheel out of his mooring. One of them would happen.
End up like Axel from Twisted Metal.
Alright. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Ooh, baby.
What is
Did you want to check it before I read it? Just.
All
Or-
classified
or-
stuff has gone on.
what is Station 6's purpose?
It's purpose classified.
Oh, its purpose is classified.
You only listed 5 stations before.
Correct.
Was that because this one's hidden, or because this one didn't exist when you told us about it last time?
Neither.
How many stations did you
Is it
start
because
with?
Satellite CS6 is in a different system?
It is in a different system, yes.
Are all the others in different systems?
Yes.
Okay.
Was it always in a different system and you've discovered it?
No.
Why didn't you list it when we last listed before?
I'm not going to dance around it. Here we go. Celestial Station 6, The Thought Experiment. Location, System 8. Status, under construction.
How many stations have you built?
How many have
In
you
a
finished building?
In a
Finished
single...
building 5.
How many are under construction?
2.
Do
There
the
was
stations persist across iterations
Yes.
in the state at the end of it?
No.
They have to be rebuilt each iteration.
Yes.
Are the wave bringers the ones who start the rebuilding process?
The Wavebringers triggered the tidal singularity event.
Which station is the first station? The one that...
Celestial Station 1.
So they all spawned there.
It is the only one that is pre-existing.
So Celestial Station 1 exists at the beginning of each iteration, and the others are then built
Correct.
during the iteration.
Correct.
Does the iteration's time frame begin from the beginning of the universe? From the completion of construction of the space station?
Does its awareness? Does it repeat the question?
Does the iteration class as beginning at the beginning of the universe,
No.
or where is the iteration origin point? The earliest point in the iteration.
Upon Chronicle's arrival in System 1.
We were given an end date
Mhm.
for, like, an in-game end date, but not a, like,
Yeah.
okay. Like, for when the iteration...
Don't hold Richard to this day.
Yeah, exactly.
About a year from now, yeah.
Yeah, it was roughly a year from now. Mathematically, if it gives us like a percentage of the way through the iteration it thinks we are, can we work out that the iteration started about 21,000 years ago?
99.999%.
Yeah, but the figure comes up. Yeah, I can still do maths, guys. Pretty good.
How are you able to retain knowledge between each iteration if everything else resets?
In the first few nanoseconds of the tidal singularity event, we're able to make contact with our initial selves. We then transmit data.
So you meet your past self, or conversely your future self, swap a USB stick, and then good luck.
What is a USB stick?
Not allowed to use those anymore.
Yeah. You are in the NHS.
Mike looks unhappy.
Look at that. It's the amount of, like, how many viruses have that caused?
No,
How
it's-
many?
I'm about to begin.
You're in Southern Health, at least. They have to be encrypted, but you can still use them.
We're swapping security systems, and I've got to deploy the device management rights, and it's going to break so many things.
Yeah,
Anyway, sorry.
that sounds right.
Do we exist twice in these iterations?
No.
So we don't get slungshot back in time to the beginning of the iteration.
No.
What are you doing to achieve Objective 4 so you don't have to kill an entire species and us and everyone else?
Unknown. That is not my purpose.
The probes you're creating,
Yes.
more of those presumably are being produced as you get further along the time stream to the ideal end. In each iteration, in the very first iteration, or no, in the second iteration, how many probes were produced in total?
0.
In the 200,000th, how many were produced? Is it going to be linearly increasing in some way?
Yes, but not. It's not like thousands upon thousands. It's like 100, maybe 200, and doesn't start until iteration 7.
It's like an exponential decrease.
Iteration 12.
Like it knew what changes to make very easily at the beginning, and as time goes on, it gets further and further between more probes being produced.
I wouldn't call it exponential. There is a linear uptick in the number of probes it's producing.
Is there more probes produced at the beginning of your cycle, or is it more towards the end?
Towards the end, where there is the greater chance of variance.
Because it's easier. Because if you produce a probe at the very beginning of your 21,000, something minor could change a lot.
That's when they need the wave riders, and being biological, we are inherently unpredictable.
You don't make the wave, do you? It's a phenomenon that you're not in control of.
No.
What make... You won't tell me. Never mind. I'm not going to ask you, because you're just going to say either classified or redacted, and I'm just going to be annoyed.
Rich. Objective 7 has triggered the square box.
Yeah, the thing I'm using uses references to... sorry, I'm just going to fill in the names now. Number 7. So that is the...
Singularity event.
Tidal singularity event, yeah.
Okay. Has this tidal singularity event ever happened without the intervention of either you or the wave bringers?
No.
Is it a natural phenomenon?
No.
Why did you trigger it in the first iteration?
We didn't. You did.
Why did you cause us to?
No, they didn't.
No.
We did. Something we did caused it.
And now they
Which
might-
enabled them to piggyback off of that and say, oh, we'll take advantage of that, travel back in time. We fucked up so badly we created a time loop that a god is jumping into.
Not a god.
Yeah, we are not a god.
Yeah.
We.
Okay, so they originally had 3 objectives,
Yeah.
and then the existence of the time bullshit caused them to revise and create a 4th and a 5th,
But they couldn't.
because those are in iteration 2.
Because they.
It was only after iteration 12 that...
Are you trying to... The achievement of Objective 4, does that cause you to complete Objective 2 and 3?
Would it tell you?
Oh, go on.
No.
Do you need to complete Objective 4 to complete 2 and 3, though?
No.
Does completing Objective 4 mean you don't need to complete Objectives 2 and 3?
No.
Then why have Objective 4?
Because they have to report back to whoever sent them.
Were objectives 2 and 3 completed?
No. They were superseded.
They were deemed to be unnecessary because of some discovery in iteration 2.
Because they knew they could go back in time.
Well, surely in iteration
Yeah.
2, it was the discovery of the thing that caused iteration 2 to begin.
Yeah.
Time travel.
So they
Quick question, Rich. Superseded,
Mm-hmm.
is that meant to be spelt seed as in like planting a seed, or?
That's just me not being able to spell, man.
With regards to...
Just
There's
checking
a lot of that in my
because
lore docs
he's pulled
as well.
that shit.
You see, sometimes you guys say to me when I'm in the DM's chair, it's like, you could have just taken credit for that. It's unusual to see that from the other side of the chair. You could have just gone,
Fix it
a
later.
mysterious hand movement and a coquettish raising of the eyebrows.
With regards to Objective 5, identify optimal structure for wild space system navigation, do you have any suggestions on how we could improve the speed of our vessel, thus speeding up our journey, thus reaching the end objective?
No.
No, you don't have any suggestions, or no, you won't provide them? Or just no?
Your plan relies on us
No,
moving at
no.
a certain speed.
I don't know the computer way to say it. It can't.
Oh, okay.
Our technology is too alien to yours to be able to interface properly.
Incorrect. You interface with the astral suite differently to us.
Ooh.
Is that
I'll
because...
remind you there is a second question I asked in the record list that you have not asked yet.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, the distance.
What's the distance
Yeah.
from here to System 4 and how long will it take to get there?
yes.
Once again, it will calculate the route and it will give you an answer.
You are good.
It will zoom out. It will show you two solar systems floating in something, and then when you ask how long it will take to get there, it will once again ask from whose perspective.
From ours.
From our perspective.
9 hours,
From yours.
932 years.
You are traveling so much slower. You can't use our technology.
Why would you be unable to interface with our technology?
You can't use magic.
We are not an intelligent-based sentient life form.
And you need to use a spelljammer.
It's not a creature, so it can't attune to the Spelljammer Helm.
Oh.
Is the helper a creature? Can it use the spelljammer?
No.
None of the Coronifera servitors. Sorry, is servitors the term you use? I can't remember.
Entities.
Entities. None of the Coronifera entities are creatures. None of them could use a Spelljammer Helm.
There's a long pause. No.
Do you feel conflicted about that?
It feels a way about it. It doesn't feel conflicted. Conflicted is not the right-
Annoyed.
Frustrating.
Okay, at this point, I'm going to just roll a flat odds and evens as to whether I'm fun Ido or I'm fun Ido. Hey man, come on, you can share. Come on, how do you feel about it? You can spill the feelings. Don't keep it all trapped up in here or in there, I guess.
Darish.
You want a persuasion check?
Yeah.
That's going to be a fight.
Is he rolling to resist?
Yeah.
Natural 1.
That one, baby.
No one, baby.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
Imagine our disappointment when a civilization built on technology discovers that the only way to travel between systems is through thought.
That's really rough, buddy.
It's very terrible.
Could you not just ask a biological entity to take you where you need to go?
That may work for one journey. It doesn't work for every journey we ever want to undertake.
Because we are ultimately fragile living things and don't have lifespan.
Very fragile.
And we could betray you.
Yes.
Or get bored. Or you know, other people could kill us and take our ship and then take you somewhere.
Have you tried?
Classified.
Oh, you fucking have.
Mother!
That is a spicy answer, I bet. It didn't go well, did it?
Unknown.
Oh, they purged it.
Are there...
I will remind you of the name of Station 6.
What's
They
the name of
fucked
it?
up.
The beta?
The Thought Experiment.
Thought experiment.
Are there any iterations where you failed to receive the full complement of data?
Would those be ones where a station was destroyed?
Possibly.
There are a number of iterations where the data was corrupted and we had to make do with a partial transmission.
Because it's most likely that you've triggered the wave yourself.
Unknown.
Or, like I was feeling about 10 minutes ago, smash everything and make them pay for this interference.
Like Vax was feeling about half a bottle ago.
He'll wake up and sleep it off, it'll be fine. You can't. The Apton, we need to... This thing is gonna trigger the damn apocalypse, whether we like it or not. So...
Well, we already have.
You've pissed it off enough for it to say, no, you triggered it. You started this.
Yeah.
How?
The first time,
Redacted.
I thought I had you there.
the first time, I grant you. Fair enough.
And the second, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and the
Did
sixth.
we always choose to?
Which percentage? Who's on the better side of this in terms of percentages? At this point,
You have chosen to do this the majority of times.
We've chosen to do it the majority of times.
Yes.
What is the alternative if we don't?
The destruction of System 2.
That's our system.
Oh, okay.
So we have to make a choice.
so there's the choice: destroy System 1, kill thousands, or destroy System 2 and kill
Oh.
billions.
Oath. Is that... That's not in System 2, is it? Because it's...
No, I don't think so.
But it's on System 1.
No.
Which was Uth.
My home planet.
I thought it was in...
Oh, I could be wrong.
I think it was a different planet in System 1. In System 2.
System 2.
I'm not seeing it. I can't remember. I honestly can't remember what we said it was.
I honestly just made up a name because it was a bug
It's
pun.
not on any of the maps you've got.
Yeah. I made up a name that was a bug pun and said I'm from that planet, is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't honestly think we ever discussed whether it was in system, whether it was in realm space or
Sure.
not. But
I believe I think you said it was outside of realm space at
Yeah.
least.
Okay, then we can say it's outside.
yeah, like it,
Partly because you were talking about coming here to do some waters,
Yeah.
frontier medicine.
fucking Doctors Without Borders. Is
Yes.
why, yeah.
So there's something in System 1.
But Uth is not in any of the other systems that have been clocked by this thing. It just happens to be from.
No, because it's visited it, right? You saw in the reflection room that it visited it. So let's call it System 3. You're from System 3.
But that's but that's not one of the ones where there's a celestial
Correct.
station. Got you. Yes. Okay. Fine. Yeah. So it has knowledge of Uth, but has not built a station there because all it needed to do was get me here to one of the systems it does control. Yeah. Okay.
Which it did. By stopping a meteor.
That's pretty good.
And also, we have to remember that it will trigger the event if we don't. So, if we trigger it, we destroy System 1. If we don't, it destroys System 2, and then Chronifer destroys System 1.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And I'm going to refer to it as the event.
Don't talk about the event.
It will trigger the event regardless. You do not know whether that means that both systems have stolen or not. That is not
Based on your ability to travel, you have already sent the probe to System 1 to trigger the event in the event that we do not make, that haven't you?
No.
Then how do you trigger the event?
That's me being a dick. We already have a system there. Station 1 is already in System 1.
So it doesn't need to go anywhere, I can just do it from where it is. That's fair.
How many iterations has System 2 been destroyed in?
Ballpark it for us, not exact numbers.
A Fermi approximation, if you will.
Single digits.
But it has
Wow,
happened
we are-
on some occasions.
Yeah, very rare.
More than zero.
More
but
than zero,
not
but not statistically
not
significant.
statistically. Okay, that's exactly. Yeah.
Does the waveform need to be triggered from System 1?
Yes.
So we die doing it.
Unknown.
Bullshit.
At least one of us dies doing it. At least one of us must die doing it.
Redacted.
Unless we can teleport. In teleportation.
Or
doesn't
just
work.
like fucking surfboard the shit out of there.
Ride the wave.
Yeah, baby!
Ride the wave out, yeah.
That is
Fuck
possible.
yes. Get some board shorts. I get a fedora. I'd look cool with a fedora. I should get a fedora.
Yeah, I've been known
Let's
to
get
rock
matching
fedora.
tattoos.
It doesn't last on me. It just goes away. I can give myself a tattoo.
Neat.
Do you still look like Vactus right now?
Huh?
Do you still look like Vactus?
No,
right
I stopped. She stopped looking like Zax. She's only did that as a bit.
Yeah.
I am merely filling Mike's absence in blue with bits.
Oh, got the tattoo. Now
So,
go.
what option did the revelation of time travel open to you that wasn't there before?
the ability to retry Objective 4 again.
Because you're trying to get back home. So you don't necessarily care if the wave bringer goes off as long as Objective 4 is met. Once that happens, we can blow up System 1, System 2, System 17 if we want to do, but not.
Correct.
If we identified where System Prime was located,
Sure.
there would be no need to trigger the tidal event?
That,
Incorrect.
that-
From our perspective, yes.
but that would happen anyways because of something that must, because otherwise System 2 blows up.
Because theoretically, something is going to happen to System 2, catastrophic. We trigger the surge to stop that from destroying System 2.
But then it redirects to System 1.
Well, not necessarily. They could be two separate events. So something could be heading towards System 2 to destroy it. We detonate something in System 1. So say it's a plague asteroid or something, and we just
From a gravitational point of view, if we turn System 1 into a black hole, it would pull a catastrophic thing. Of course, in theory, if it was big enough. Just one possibility.
Are these statements true? If System 1 is destroyed... No, if System 1 survives, System 2 will be destroyed. And if System 2 is destroyed, survives, System 1 will be... You get what I mean?
If System 1 is destroyed, System 2 will...
If one of the systems survives, must the other one necessarily be destroyed?
Yes.
As an inevitability.
Yes.
As far as it's
I
aware.
redacted that, but yes.
So, if you think about it, is System 1 inhabited?
It is.
Yes, I told you last session.
Yeah.
It is in the order of hundreds of thousands of people.
Must those people be destroyed, those beings be destroyed, for System 1 to be destroyed and the tidal event to happen?
No.
So we could save them, then blow up the empty system.
Yes.
Do you care?
No.
Doesn't really.
Why were you not trying to identify the location of System Prime before Iteration 2?
Iteration 1 coincided with our entry into System 1. At that point, we did not know where System... At that point, we assumed we knew where System Prime was. It turned out we did not.
What type of creature inhabits System 1?
Redacted.
That was System 1, not System Prime.
Yeah, redacted. If it's System Prime, it'll tell you.
What type of creature inhabits System Prime?
Human.
I saw that coming a mile off, but I had
That
to.
seems rather boring, if I'm honest.
It would say probably
Proto-human.
Homo something.
Yeah.
It would give the...
Yeah.
Homo superior.
I mean...
Rich doesn't have the Latin to give you the...
I'm wondering...
They probably wouldn't call us Homo superior. That's
The
pretentious.
category 1 and 2 beings, etc.
Mhm.
How many of those are there in System 1?
System 1...
It's not all of them.
Oh, no.
Okay, that was more my question than...
Yeah. I don't... Richard doesn't know. I imagine there are some...
Would you be a dear and plot us a course from here to try and get to System 1?
Sure. It'll plot you a course.
And we could reach that in 9 hours or so with a Spelljammer helm.
Roll me a history check. You have come from another world space system, so you get to do so at advantage.
Sweet. 23.
15.
You're
I'm unconscious. Unless that probe, in saving me from the ogre, is going to
Injects
just
you.
walk up and inject me with a thing to cure all
Gives
the
you an IV with
Powerful.
saline solutions.
Yeah. Just dart gun. Oh, hangover's gone.
So on a 15, you know as well. That's not how travel works for you. You don't. It's not. It's not an ocean you travel on. It is akin to Avernus. You think of the place you want to go to, and you go there.
It's kind of like teleportation.
So how long would it take us to get to System 1 then?
Approximately 9 hours.
But it can't tell us how to get there in 9 hours.
Because it doesn't. We don't need to use that. We can just once we exit the bubble, we just boop, and we're going,
Yeah,
and then we're there.
but we could go and scope out System 1 to see what happens there.
But
Good.
do we know how to get to System 1
Yes.
No.
on the Spelljammer ship?
Oh, no, on the Spelljammer ship.
How do you get to a place that you don't know?
we
only
need the
by
thing. We need the whatever the thing's called.
So we can't get to there until we know where we're going.
Yeah.
And
You need a location in a frame of reference that you will be able to use to navigate to the astral sea.
And because this thing its brain
because it works so
works a
differently.
different way. Yeah,
Because
it understands the
it's
astral sea on a different.
Are there
We
any-
understand. So it understands on a mechanical level. You just go, fuck that. I'm going to think where I want to go and just
Magic
go
my
there.
way, my
fucking privilege?
Yeah.
The
You could take the long way, but
I'm game. The
That's generational ships kind of shit.
Are there any objects from or objects or creatures from System 1 in System 2?
redacted.
Which means we're going to find something
The
eventually.
rock, I bet.
The rock my sword was in.
Yeah.
What information have you got on System Prime? Like, are there photos and written description by humans who live there?
Hi.
Sufficient?
We begin our tale in a planet called Talan.
Would it basically would it be sufficient for us to then think of that place when travelling via world space?
No.
Are you trying to identify the location of System Prime such that you are able to travel there, or that we would be able to bring you there?
So we can travel there.
But it would take you centuries. I guess you don't care.
For them.
It will take us
900.
21,291 years.
But you don't really care about the time. You just want to go.
Correct.
Why are you trying to go back?
To report on objectives 2, 3,
Numbers.
8, 9, and 11.
I'm seeing a pattern here. Yeah.
If it's been 21,000 years since you were birthed, I guess when you go back in time, you'll be back at the start again, so you can just go immediately.
The status of System Prime is unknown.
Were the stations and the Coronafer entities created in System Prime?
No.
They were created in System
They
1.
were created in System 1.
The design for stations, Celestial Station 1 and Classified, which was designed in System Prime.
Was the objective so that your creators, humans, could explore the stars, or were they looking to escape?
Coronafer Prime objectives. 1. Compile a complete astral navigational map of the astral sea. 2. Classified, superseded. 3. Classified, superseded.
Yes, I suppose you only understand the reasons why in
But there is-
objective form, not an
So,
emotional.
which stations were planned in Station 1?
It's in station. Sorry, which system?
Which stations were planned in System 1? So
Designed in Station.
designed in System 1. Planned and designed, I guess.
Celestial Station 2. Celestial Station 4. Celestial Station 6. Celestial. Yeah.
So 3 and 5 planned elsewhere.
2, 3. Sorry. Celestial Station 2 was planned in System 1. Celestial Station 3 and 3. Sorry.
It's okay. This is a really complicated question.
Which stations were planned for in System 1?
In System 1. what I'm trying to get at with a bunch of questions is what
2
is the
and 4.
what is the redacted station?
Actually, 4 and 6.
What is the redacted state? What is the classified station in a roundabout way without it telling me?
Yeah. The classified stations are 3 and 5.
So 3 and 5, which
And
is
4.
3, 5, and 4.
2, 3, 5. Yeah, 3, 4, and 5. Definitely 3, 4, and 5.
What was the state of System Prime at the point of your departure?
Ooh. That's a very good question. Okay. Candidate selection. So, Astrolabe, Prophecy, Workshop. So, Confinement, Watchtower, and other one. Oh. Oh.
In what terms? In like machine terms? In
Machine terms. Without revealing anything from your campaign.
okay.
In a round like you can be obtuse as you'd like.
Error.
I will try and get the point. I don't know enough about your campaign, so in my mind,
Oh, so the political situation, or like this political social situation, rather than the physical status of the planet.
yeah. Again, I could be spoilers in Western Wilds that I don't know enough about. To...
Sure. Okay. No, that's a much easier question to answer, and one actually can. Yeah, something like the rising tension between Homo Superior and Category 1 divine beings, or whatever category that the Ulsteran gods would be, were reaching a point where long-term survival was becoming like questionable. I'm not putting this in the right terms, but like where a question mark was being put over the continued viability of Planet Prime and System Prime.
Yeah.
And that.
They were looking.
Imagine you lived on a planet that was
Yeah.
slowly burning and was becoming unsustainable to support life.
Yeah, they were looking to.
That noise.
So
It's going to win the Nobel Prize for Literature.
So this is either laughing
Or they're just
taken way too
noise.
far. Okay, so yeah, they were looking to either escape their planet or, find a new one, presumably.
You're right.
That was a stupid question.
Mm-hmm.
Are Misty's parents happy, healthy, safe, and alive?
I can answer that one. Yes.
Yeah, that is true.
Yes.
No, that's not the question I'm trying to
Okay.
think of. Like, there's something else I need.
The answer is it doesn't know. They weren't born yet.
That's true.
Yeah, but their status is always happy, healthy, and
That's
alive.
fair.
There's something else I need to answer, and I think I need to go away and answer it
Okay.
and think about it. But it's not relevant to this game at all.
Okay.
But it might be a fun Easter egg for the other game.
Yeah, I have to stop asking because I want to ask more questions from a let's side explore Western Wilds, but actually,
I've had to stop myself asking, is the radiation the same thing as the blowing phase fluid?
yeah.
I intentionally structured this so that it would be they would go off before anything happened.
Yeah.
Mass Effect Andromeda style.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey!
Jex has had his. He wanted to know the reason behind leaving, but not in an objective list, as in, like, were they curious about the stars or did they need to find the stars? And yeah, it confirms that they need. So,
Will we have continued access to this station after we leave? Barring any catastrophe or damage, etc.
Yes.
So we can return here.
Yes.
Do you expect us to?
Redacted.
Do we normally?
Redacted.
Because it will change our. If it tells us
Reg
anything about.
Have we in other iterations?
Yes.
We've visited. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
You visited multiple times before.
Because we've got things that can be charged up by.
That's what I was
visiting,
wondering,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that why we have these? So that we come back?
No.
Does the fact that these guys have used some of their portent dice and then gone back in here mean that those are recharging?
Yes.
Ooh, baby.
It's a 3. 3s aren't bad.
No. Threes are okay.
The only numbers I would say are bad are the ones in the middle.
Yeah, 10 and 11, yeah.
Yeah.
The bracelets, they function a bit like the probes. They're to help get us over certain challenges.
Yes.
Why is there a probe on our ship right now? Why is there a probe on our ship right now?
Redacted.
Is the probe there to assist with a task that has already happened or one that will happen? And bear in mind, if you say redacted, we'll know it's in the future.
Neither.
Might happen then, yeah.
Presumably, it's here to stop it from happening in the future because it's here to kill an ogre on a planet we're going to, but
Not
haven't been to
necessarily
yet.
kill it. It could just be there to...
To stop it or to intervene.
What is inside Probe 39?
Redacted.
No, not all of them.
Do all the probes have prophecies in them?
Redacted.
Ah.
There could be a healing potion, there could be a scroll of resurrection, it could be all kinds of things.
A fucking Hunger Games style where they just parachute shit in for them.
See, I think it's on our ship at this point because it would take too long to send it to the planet. It's hitchhiking.
I just deeply, deeply wish for, at some point, Vaxis to reach into a probe and just like that guy in Predator, just pull out a minigun. Yes. Apparently this is going to help.
Oh, I see. I understand very quickly what this is going to do.
And hey,
Right.
as a fighter, I'm proficient.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Dual-winning laser shotgun it rings.
I don't know what else to ask this thing. I don't know if I can trust this
Well,
thing.
we can come back, right?
I think I need to ask, is this about this thing?
Is this about to...
Is this the goddess of fate?
Oh, yes.
I imagine she's probably not happy with this thing screwing around with that. But she doesn't know.
Yes, well...
But she might have an idea, or at least would know to ask. Could you name a celestial entity who would... Have celestial entities in the past helped us?
Knowingly helped us.
You've already met the Fates.
Yes, Istus.
They gave you the warning.
They did. I didn't exactly he did. But
We nudge. The gods nudge.
In opposite
Other
directions
beings
or
nudge.
the same direction? All perpendicular.
everyone nudges for their own
Do the
purposes.
gods wish the tidal event to happen in a particular place, or do they not concern themselves with the thing?
We do not assume the knowledge of gods. We do not know what they want.
Are the gods aware of the tidal event?
The Fates are... What's the word for all-knowing?
Omniscient.
Omniscient. Within their own time frame. They know something's happening. They don't know what or why.
Let's go snitch.
So if you remember from the beach, they warned you, they pointed out all these stars are disappearing, but they
Don't know
couldn't
what.
give you any answers as to
Why?
Yeah.
how you could stop it.
Yep. So they know it's coming, but they don't know why.
Therein lies a question. The tidal event We saw that happening as a catastrophe within System 1, and we saw it happening like over the Spelljammer Academy kind of thing, right?
Yes.
In
the Vision.
In the Vision, yeah.
Yeah. That was what the whole destruction was. There was
No.
what was causing the destruction of Spelljammer Academy?
Redacted.
Something that's going to happen that is unrelated.
But that's what's going to happen here if we don't cause it in System 1 then.
Possibly.
Is Mikken responsible for the whatever?
No.
Poor Mikken. I didn't think so.
Has Mikken ever been a Wavebringer?
No.
Have the Wavebringers
Loser.
always been the same 8 candidates?
Yes.
Why?
Oh. But there was somewhere we were missing. Oh,
Because
there was
we
somewhere we were
died.
missing but hadn't been replaced. So it was where one candidate had died rather than.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why does 8? Or is it just the only parameters you have?
You can almost hear the smile. Fate.
Because
Uh-huh.
because those 8 were the party that originally triggered it the first time.
Yes.
Was it all 8 that triggered it the first time?
And the more of them there are, the more likely.
They said that 4 is the optimum number.
4 is the minimum number, I thought they said.
I thought that
Optimal.
Optimal.
It can be triggered by a 1, if I recall correctly.
But you need
I don't have an answer to that question.
4 to
Okay.
get us there.
Um,
Do in terms of the ones that of the 8, is it that in the lead up to triggering the event it was 8, those 8, but not all of them at the same time? As in, for example, Vaxis died somewhere along the path and we replaced him with somebody else and it became a new person to join us. And through the complex of events, it was those 8, and then you've manipulated things to make it so that it is 4 or some combination of.
The average number of Wavebringers at the Title Seniority event is 4.
Is that median, or mode?
It is mode is the
Most popular.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the average.
It's the modal average, yeah.
to your knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
are the number of celestial bodies in each system the same at the beginning of each iteration?
Number of celestial body. Yes.
Basically, it's not that so each go around, as it were, something's not being lost each time, and it's slowly tearing
things apart. No.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Is that why the stars are going out?
Incorrect.
Oh. What's being lost?
Events, places, people. They get corrupted.
Because of the etheric
Etheric
radiation.
radiation.
Like the probe.
Correct.
Wait, does the radiation persist between each iteration?
Yes.
It's one of the few. That's how they time travel. It's one of the few things that do. So they can
Yes,
use
but
it.
also is the build-up what is causing the... No, it can't be, because we triggered it the first time without there having been any time travel.
So,
Oh
if
no.
if we were to be,
What?
There is a thing in. Are you looking at the problem the wrong way round? And it's not the first triggering that matters, it's the last one. And the first triggering was never going to happen because the only reason it happened is because we triggered it in the far future.
It was a backwards echo of the last one.
if one of us were to be affected by the radiation, would that persist into the beginnings of each of our iterations? So if I was died of radiation sickness, like the Athenics, right? Radiation sickness, would I then remain dead in the next iteration?
The effects of etheric radiation are unknown and variable. We cannot predict them. For example, they infected Vaxis' sword in iteration 2.
Did they infect me in this iteration?
No.
Oh.
Did it? Did it
Can you
also
tell?
No. They cannot
So-
be measured.
Did it also?
You can only notice it by its effects.
So you
What
don't
would its
know.
effects be?
The most likely impact of it. The most. We can
The
sp-
modal
we,
average.
We we can spot it most easy by variances in the probabilistic data set.
So if we do
Are
something
the
weird,
effects of the radiation getting better or worse?
Worse.
I think it's more and more of it.
If the radiation builds up to a sufficient level, would it destroy a system or all systems?
Unknown.
It would corrupt.
Would you posit that if it builds up enough, the entire system will shut down?
Unknown.
Would it be possible for a wavebringer to become corrupted by the same manner as the probe?
Potentially. However, you do not exist at the beginning of the iteration, so the effects on the corruption of a wavering itself is unknown.
Right.
The corruption of Vax's sword in the second iteration, did that remain through all future iterations?
Once an entity is corrupted by etheric radiation, they persist.
And in all future iterations, was he unable to pull the sword from the stone?
Yes.
So it's not the probe that changed it, it was the radiation.
Yes, it was nice.
Does the in
Got
what
to back to something
iteration
later.
did the probe get infected? The one that we found on the Beholder ship initially. In what iteration did that one get infected?
Unknown. Which probe?
I've got bits of it.
The
I'll
probe.
nip back to the beholder ship.
that
It's
is-
still on the beholder ship. So it's actually,
We have a
36
number.
or something, wasn't it? We had a number.
yeah, but we can get. Was that probe numbered with one of these
Mm-hmm.
numbers that were in terms of its-
37.
37,
That
yes.
one then, yeah.
Termination of access by beholder. You die a lot.
37.
Under meat shield.
Unknown. Our sensors are unable to penetrate the etheric radiation.
It doesn't know.
When did you last have records?
So if you remember when it's tried to scan Vax's sword, it was question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Its sensors cannot
Is the reason you
read it
can't...
at all.
You can't... Is the reason... Have you done studies into what the etheric radiation is?
Classified.
That's good.
The-
Yes.
The question / concern I have is that now that the probe was infected by that thing, which means that in future iterations, Vaxis may always die from that beholder.
Yeah.
So if do you have records of this probe in all previous iterations beyond this one?
The probe 36 dispatched in the event.
36 was total collapse of the Alanthine Sea. 37 is Vaxis beholder.
Probe 37 completed its objective this iteration.
And then was corrupted. Or was corrupted beforehand. Because remember, it can't tell the difference. It's seeing everything's
unpredictable.
fine.
But this iteration, probe 37, has been active.
Correct.
And you received telemetry from it
Correct.
indicating that it had
Here's
completed its
Here, I'll
objective.
give you help. Probe 37 has been infected by etheric radiation.
What does that mean to you? How does that make you feel?
That in the previous iteration it was corrupted and then it persisted in the timeline. At the beginning of iteration 493, this one, all probes were created successfully.
Yes. But then it was corrupted. Or it was corrupted when it's being inscription or something along
Or
those lines.
Does the corruption that persists happen spontaneously at the same point that it happened in the first iteration, or does it precede that same point chronologically? If that makes sense, and if it can tell.
It's pure randomness, it can't tell.
Okay.
How old is Vaxis? I guess we'd have to ask Vaxis about how old his sword. Do you know how old Vaxis' sword is? You've been here for 21,000 years or something like that.
21,000.
So the reason Vax's sword is always corrupted is because it's in the same spot every single time.
Did the sword exist prior to... Is the sword from System Prime?
No, System 2.
So it was created here, but...
Correct.
But very, very, very old.
So that sword was here when the Chronopher got here.
Correct.
Hence why it's always corrupted, and why in every iteration past one, he's not able to pull it. And lives, actually, to be fair.
Did Vaxus die in Iteration 1?
For clarification, did Vaxis die in his castle the day after pulling the sword
that might
in
be,
Iteration 1?
That might be a better answer.
No.
Oh, because he met the prophecy. He pulled the sword. Oh no, because they thought they were going to destroy the world and universe and everything
Yeah,
else.
my own headcanon for that was that if he had pulled the sword, then he would have shared in the celebratory feast and would have gotten would have eaten the poison and died.
Maybe they didn't poison
Unless the poisoning or the raid was delayed by
the fact that you pulled the sword.
Yeah.
They may still have been. But
I appreciate it's all completely random, and I was not looking for an answer from Rich because fuck knows.
I don't know what we're going to get much more out of this thing.
No, we are employed.
yes,
We are, it's true.
We-
And also this place is becoming very boring because I've been here for an amount of time.
Yes.
And other places might have new, shiny things that I can touch.
And play with
Quiet
it
lunch.
without it being annoyed.
yeah. So I will remove the space rock from the console because I ideally don't want permanent damage to it. I'll give it back to you.
I'm sticking in this little jar.
Yeah.
Station 2 doesn't exist past the... This place doesn't exist. If it gets infected with degradation, as long as it's... Do you move your location every single iteration slightly so that you don't get reinfected by things you aren't aware of? For pure randomness sake? Or do you try to keep things consistent?
We adhere to the probabilistic data set as close as we can. However, we do add our own variants if required.
Alright.
But we can see if something's infected because we know the sword is infected. We know the other things are infected. We can see it. We can touch it. We can find it. We could find out if you're infected if you open your systems up, and then give us access to the rest of your rooms and such.
Is the reason that you can't observe the radiation because it's sentient?
Classified.
Maybe.
That was like lightning through my brain for a second.
I say we continue when we return here if we have more questions.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's
that
good,
seems
eh?
like a good idea. Make sure to tell Vaxus when he wakes up, whenever he wakes up, that it's not his fault that he can't pull the sword. I think he needs the win.
To cheer him up.
Indeed.
Let's have a dance party.
After he repairs the
Do
kitchen.
nachos.
After he
can
repairs the kitchen, I will happily cook nachos.
Yes,
I can repair the kitchen. Wields hammer.
I will also tie you to the thing.
He's getting very
Don't
good with
threaten
knots.
me with a good time.
Let's get on the ship.
Yeah.
Thank you for whatever help or thing or whatever you've done.
Take it sleazy, my man.
I imagine the gods are very angry at you, the ones that know, but can't really find you, so good luck!
Goodbye, Wavebringer.
Neat. Yeah, let's... Off we fuck then. Let's
Yep.
go to the...
I don't know what to do with it.
I don't know what's in my head. Yeah. Where were we going?
Going...
Beholder Planet.
Behold the planet.
Beholder Planet.
Why are we going to the Beholder Planet? It
we need
seems
to
so
get
long ago now.
We get an adamantine chunk, basically,
yeah.
because it's valuable and the spelljammers need it for something or other. Seems kind of unimportant at the moment, though, if I'm honest.
But maybe we have to do it. Or, alternatively, if we are going to do it, it must be important.
Or it's just an event on a causality line.
Somewhere lost in the Jeremy Barely.
Yes, probably the eye.
The dot on the eye. It's Tuesdays, and sometimes July. It's the time moment where nothing never not happens.
Just happens to look like a Jerry Jeremy. It's just
Close it, 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 close it. Don't look.
I bet it was Mecca. I knew you should let me drill through his kneecaps.
such a specific thing.
It's such a funny threat. I don't quite know why. It just has the assonance to me of comedy. Anyway.
We get back on the ship.
Yeah.
I check on Vaxus. He's still drunk and asleep. That's
Tied to a wheel.
And tied to a wheel.
I'll untie him.
You tied him by his feet.
But then the gravity sort of brought it down to the bottom, so he's the right way up again.
Yes.
He's also covered in notes that basically say, clean this up.
I don't suppose you have lesser restoration, do you?
No, this level.
I'm going to make a charisma check.
Ooh.
And I'm not very good at charisma, but this is to assert my...
Dominance.
No, this is for Ido's super ego to get back in control enough to bring the ego online enough to have him pay attention long enough to start tidying up and cleaning. It's not good. Oh my god, I'm going to write a screenplay.
I don't have lesser restoration.
No, that's fine. There's not, lesser restoration is a fun thing because it removes the poison from your system, but that would basically remove him being drunk, but
Instant hangover.
It wouldn't cure the hangover.
Yeah.
Could I make a medicine
to
check
someone.
to try and bring out the smelling salts and the
Saline solutions.
well, the ringer solution? Yeah, absolutely. And just try and sort of bring Vaxus round.
Sure.
I am going to consult my textbook to get guidance. That is going to be a 26.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
I'm going to roll a Constitution
Hello.
saving throw.
Ooh.
Okay, I don't chunder everyone.
You should chunder everywhere.
Yeah, that was a lot of alcohol.
I mean,
Are you?
I got 23 on my con save.
Damn.
Not in my kitchen, please.
No. Yes, you've made Jax very angry with your destruction of the kitchen, and the chicken. There was a chicken. You
Now
ate it.
right, so this is a fantastic example of the difference between mass and count nouns. There was a chicken, now there's just chicken.
No, there's no bones. The only reason I know there was a chicken is because there were feathers.
I don't remember anything about a chicken.
That'll come out badly
Maybe
later.
that was something else.
Anyways, the point is, by the way, we found out it's not your fault that you couldn't pull the sword. It's timey-wimey bullshit.
You were always capable of pulling the sword. Outside intervention of some etheric radiation corrupted the correct timeline.
And thus made it impossible for
You're
anyone.
worthy, the sword stopped being.
Yes. It was no longer the destined sword past iteration 2.
Okay, that's not why I had a small moment though.
Yes?
It was more the overwhelming feelings of the fact that I could have pulled the sword. Then what does any of this mean? What was the point? What was the point of any of this? Why did my family have to die? Whoever made that sword in order to...
They made that sword for iteration 1 when you did pull the sword and we even asked if you survived, and you did, apparently.
Past day 1, at least.
Past day 1, so none of your families died. So if you want to be angry at somebody, be angry at iteration 1 you, because apparently we caused all this at some point.
Oh yes, we caused the original wave.
Yes. So we can fix it then. How? Somehow. And if you fix it, and it never happens again, then while your family is still gone, they didn't die for nothing. It is concerning you're still prince, though, instead of king. Did you verify that all your family were gone, by the way?
The battering ram was actively breaking down the door, and
So
I had to leave.
Yes, that's fair. So it's possible your family, or at least some of them, are still alive.
I guess it's possible.
Can't lose hope, at least.
I mean,
And then no one died for anything. You just couldn't pull a sword. Because it wasn't possible. Not because you weren't fated to do it.
this is making my head hurt. This is.
It's...
No. That's the extreme dehydration of your globulin neurons.
Yes.
I was going to say this is more confusing than that time that I formed a boy band.
Are you doing a cutaway?
Right now!
With a 29 on investigation.
Oh,
I need to know more about this boy band.
Don't look at me!
Yes, please tell
okay.
me.
With a deception of dirty 20,
Wow.
he's pulling your leg.
Okay, the insight there would have been even more than that. No, not quite as much. 27. You were never in a boy band, were you? He's right, we should form a band!
With that kind of
Iteration
range...
243.
that was
Boy band arrives.
Where we just went and formed a fucking thrash metal band and toured Europe for a while.
Yeah. Shit.
I do have one more question for the entity,
Sure.
if that's all right.
Yeah.
I think it is a quick one.
Yeah. Famous last word.
In any iterations, are systems other than systems 1 or 2 destroyed?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
Ooh. I also have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How many systems have already been destroyed by this event in this iteration?
It will give you a number in the tens. Between 10 and 100.
So it's something that's already begun.
It's coming.
A process is happening.
Whether
Again, I'll
whether
put
it's
you
like
back
a,
to the vision where
Yeah.
the stars are slowly...
Is there
Yeah.
one star per wild space system?
As far as Rich and the campaign material that I have is aware, yes.
I don't think
In
there
the
are
same way in the
binaries.
real world you can get binary systems and that kind of thing
Yeah.
where they have stable gravity.
Yeah.
It is the vast majority are single solar.
Yeah.
Cool.
Onwards to the Beholder planet.
Okay, I'm going to go find some orange juice.
Cool. If you find an orange, I'll be damn surprised in that kitchen. But clean the kitchen first, or Jax will kill you. He will drown you with his body. I think that's next on his list.
Oh,
Look at the intensity and the lack of eyes.
It is. It's really strange. You can actually...
create some eyes just to stare at me.
Oh, that's too many eyes!
Yeah, he will create 100 all looking.
Perfectly accurate checks.
Episode title.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll fix the kitchen. I just need some vitamins first.
Hello.
No.
They're fine. You drank enough alcohol to kill any man. If whatever he does...
4 or 5, they're green.
It wouldn't even affect you. And you're not the paladin, so you're not exactly immune to nothing. And you're not the dwarf either, so...
Honestly, it makes it even more impressive.
Indeed. So...
I mean, the dwarves are cheating. They have accessory livers.
They
So did you say that was impressive?
Should I?
Extremely.
Gives you back one of the pellets you've given him before.
Fucking tight.
And then it just goes.
Right.
I don't have one of those clicker things.
Rock on.
Right. Just take the vitamins from him. You'll be fine. It'll be okay. Could be worse.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Cathar is a watery disk, thousands of miles wide, sat on the edge of the astral sea, with a towering mountain called the Spindle at its centre. You manoeuvre the ship so that it hovers a few feet above the surface of the water at the spindle's edge, and flick down a rope ladder. A crab, startled by its sudden appearance, dashes to the cover of the waves. You have reached the planet.
Was that a crab or a crown?
Crab.
Crab.
You have reached the planet.
Ooh. Exciting.
And we'll leave that for today.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Very nice.
I have no idea what I'm going to call this session.
Things we know. And a shit ton of stuff we don't.
If variable
Redacted.
if variable
I would go
Redacted
for
and classified.
I would go for Control F, open square bracket, quotation mark, asterisk, quotation mark, square bracket.
Very cool.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Extremely tight.
Mm-hmm.
Receiving revised title.
Apologies if we derailed the seriousness
That's
of it.
alright.
It was serious.
We did fuck around a little bit at the beginning.
The big one I was wondering was whether you'd ask what his objective was. And we got there.
We got there eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was tempted to try and force it with a high or low roll on finding out what objective 11 was.
Okay.
Are you happy for me to try and do that? The recording's still going.
Go for it.
Okay. I'm going to pick lows. And I'm going to use my portent dice to make it a nat 1.
We've solved your riddle, puzzle master! The Minotaurs escaped and you're gonna get dogged,
Objective
buddy.
11.
Objective 11.
Complete theorem for functional FTT drive.
Oh.
Faster than time?
No.
Wow.
Faster than thought.
Maybe.
FDL drive.
The FTT.
Faster than-
Okay, because it's trying to travel at
By
the
itself,
what
yeah,
faster than
yeah.
thought without needing thought.
Yeah.
Faster than Turqueen?
That's not that fast. That's like 45 feet tops.
Faster than that.
And that's where we'll stop.
Cool. I had fun.
Hope that was enjoyable.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Yes.
Extremely rad.
Oh.
Who's
I
got
was-
the keyboard for...
Oh yes, I just need to hit. Can you hit stop, Rich?
Okay, stop.